Welcome to Grown Ass Kids Club, where the treehouse is open and the adulthood is optional. I'm Andrea Shapiro. That is my first time getting to call this podcast what it is now being called Grown Ass Kids Club. This is very exciting. And who am I here with?
You are here with Ryan Wright with a W.
Ooh.
Sometimes people ask that.
Yes, but he is always right.
But I'm always right.
Ryan,
Nice.
this is crazy. We've done it.
I know this is our first launch into this new branding. So we stepped out of the Disney bubble. We'll still have Disney things,
Yes.
but this is more about exploring the things that made us happy as kids, but now we're adults and sort of navigating the challenge between that. So we'll have to talk about adult things, but then we're also going to talk about a lot of fun things, mostly nostalgic things too, I think.
Yeah, I think the way the world is right now, we need to be reminded about when we were innocent and when we had ketchup on our shirts and didn't care. So many pictures of me as a child where I just have food on my shirt and I'm happy as a clam.
Yeah.
Clams are really happy, apparently.
Yeah, where does that come from?
I don't know. Or happy as Larry, as the English say.
Really? What? Happy as Larry?
Happy as Larry, they say. I think
What does
the
that
Australians
mean?
say it too. We're going to have to do an episode about these.
Happy as Larry?
Happy as Larry.
Like
I'm
a
telling
person?
you. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like some
trust you.
dude. I looked into it once. Anyway, ADHD tangent right at the top, just to let you know that you've got the same host still.
Yes.
This is a new year. Goodbye 2025. Good riddance.
Yeah. So we're like technically recording in December, but this will be January. So like we're in 2026 when
We're
you're listening.
manifesting good things.
But yeah, who knows what will happen between now and then.
Yeah.
Hopefully this will all still be here.
Hopefully we'll still be here. I mean, we just shelled out so much money for this rebrand, so I just really hope.
I hope it wasn't all in vain.
So
what did you do? I know it's weird to say like what did you do for the holidays because technically they haven't really happened, but anything holiday season that you've done? Hanukkah has happened.
Yes.
Actually, yesterday was the last day, right?
Yes, it was. When we're recording yesterday was the last day. But what I will say that is holiday related is that for the past few years, I am friends with this family and I take care of their son. And they do a Christmas show. So this is like very, holiday related. And then I take care of him. So that feels very like, that's when I know I'm really revving up is like when he and I are just spending a lot of time together. Their show just wrapped. They're wonderful. NYC Panto, go and check them out. They do a show every year.
I missed it. I wanted to say it.
I know. Next year then. I always miss it because I am watching their child during it. So, but I've been taking care of my buddy. And I'm not going to say his name just to, to protect the innocent. He loves me. But, of course, he misses his parents. So a thing that he likes to say a lot is, Andrea, I love you. And I go, I love you too. And he goes, but I love mommy and daddy more. And I go, of course. And then he goes, but I love myself the most.
Oh.
And I always go, yeah, that's amazing. And one time he said it, like he's said this before. And then he goes, and I love myself the most. And he goes, Andrea, do you love yourself the most?
Oh.
And I was like,
You start crying. You're like, can we talk about it?
From the mouth of babes, as they say, I really was like, okay, RuPaul, how are you going to love anybody else if you don't love yourself first, And I was like, I do, Reggie. And I did. And I meant it.
I'm glad you should.
Yeah, I think I have been teaching him that it's important to love yourself. If you know how to love yourself, you know how to love others, because love others the way you love yourself,
Yeah.
And I love that he said that. He's just... Kids are magical. They're pretty close to like the beyond.
That's what I think.
Yeah. Them and elderly people. I feel like they're close. Like they've got something that we...
Yeah, it's like at some point you're like, when you come in as a child, your mind is still so pure, I guess. And then when you get, I guess, past maybe a certain age and you've let go of so much of the things that we add on to our minds... Yeah, you sort of almost revisit that pure soul feeling again.
And you go back to saying that you kind of are a little unfiltered the way children are, I think, later on. Because you're just like, well, I'm done. Or I'm sundowning. You know?
Yeah. I need my medication.
Or I need my medication.
I don't like that.
Are you my daughter?
Yes.
Anyway. Well, what about you?
You know something I did the other day? I was going to tell you that. So this is going to be sort of like a rant a little bit.
Do it.
But I went to the movies. And I went to see Avatar: Fire and Ash.
Oh.
Which I like Avatar.
You dressed up?
Yeah, I was blew myself. I blew myself, as Tobias would say on the rest of the I went to the movies, and it was like sold out because it would just come out at this point when we're saying this was like a week ago. But the seat next to me was empty, and I saw this man come up, and I was like, oh, he's going to sit next to me. And you know what? Shame on me for all the judgment. I mean, I ended up rightfully being judgy, but it was this man. He had this big thing of nachos and the big drink and the huge coat. And so he sits down and he's eating the nachos. And I'm thinking,
did he sit next to you?
He sat next to me. Sorry. He sat next to me. He wasn't smelly. He wasn't mean. He wasn't anything. But first thing, he was eating all the nachos like in the previews. And I wanted to tap him and be like, there's like 30 minutes of previews. The nachos you want to enjoy during the movie. But I was like, I would never do that. It's none of my business.
Ryan, they're going to get soggy.
Yeah, but he ate all of those. Then the movie is about to start. It's the Nicole Kidman, we come to this place for magic. He gets up and is gone for like 10, 15 minutes, misses the first part of the movie. And it's stressing me out. And I don't know him. And I was like, you're missing the movie. This is like a big movie. Everybody wants to see it. Even though personally I wasn't that invested in it. But I was like, where are you? Where are you? Mm-hmm. Then he comes back. And then is on his phone pretty much the entire time, looking at flights, looking at his boarding pass. So I was like, this man was visiting and was like, I don't have anything to do tonight. Because I'm like, why would you drop like probably $50, $60 on this movie, this food? Because it's expensive. The ticket's like probably $25. The food was probably $25, if not more. Just to be on your phone the entire time, like on WhatsApp, on the boarding pass, going back and forth, then getting up and leaving and being gone for a while, and then coming back, being on the phone. The movie was in 3D, kept taking the glasses off, on, literally like that, off, on during parts. And I was like, I guess maybe it's bothering him, or he keeps trying to see like, is this really 3D? Like, is this part 3D? Is this not? Whole time. And this man was probably like, I want to say in his 50s, maybe, alone. And I actually left the movie. I didn't finish it. One, because this was bothering me and there really wasn't anywhere else for me to move. And then two, I don't know if it was a mix of that. And then I was like, I don't know if I'm feeling this movie right now. And that's like, I felt like I was just never in it because of the distraction next to me. And I should have said something and been like, please don't use your phone. But I have confrontation issues. And, especially this day and age, you never know what's going to happen. I could say something to him and he could punch me. He could start yelling. He could make, that's what I'm always thinking about. So I ended up leaving and I was like, so I've seen about an hour or more of the second or third Avatar. But
good for you.
I was like, why do you come and then be on the phone? I was like, you could have sat wherever your hotel. You could have spent this money at a restaurant.
Right.
And had a nicer meal instead of the Kit Kats and nachos.
Do you want to like lay back? Like there is that.
He couldn't figure out the seat. He kept looking and he noticed that he kept looking at mine and I was like, do I tell him of the buttons? And I was like, why do I feel like I'm on a date with this man? And I'm concerned that you're missing the movie, but you don't really care about it. And I just wanted to be like, where are you from? Like, are you going back tomorrow? You seem stressed about the flight. You're looking at the boarding pass. I don't know.
If this were at Alamo, they would have kicked him out. Like, that's the thing. AMC.
They don't care.
They're just like...
They're like, he's an A-lister. He can do whatever he wants.
Give us your money, please. We desperately need it. You know what, though? Normalize leaving something, though, where you're not having a good time. I'm sorry. Like, I understand. It's also not your job to confront them. Like, you are not qualified to be doing X, Y, or Z for this person. It's like, I celebrate you, Like, so... Wait, so there was no one else in the movie theater, or there was?
No, it was full.
Oh,
because I was like, I could just get up and move, but the rows around me had people, and I was like, I don't want to try getting up. And it was still earlier in the movie that I was like, what if I sit down and somebody comes in and I'm in their seat? Like I'm, a believer of sit in the seat that you selected.
Yes, of course. I've seen.
I know you've been there during Moana too. I remember the story.
You're such
Sorry
a good listener.
steal your story.
Such a good listener. I
but
can't
I
believe you
remember the old lady was like, "We want these seats," and you're like, "But these are the ones we picked."
I was like, and now you're talking, and now all the kids are like, "What's happening?"
Grandma's mad.
Yeah, her granddaughter like put her head in her hands. I was like, "Oh no!"
She's like, "She's sundowning. I'm sorry."
She's sundowning. Are you my granddaughter? Anyway,
so. That's my...
Thanks a lot, James Cameron.
Yeah.
It's his fault
It's
somehow.
your fault, James Cameron. Why'd you have to make the third Avatar anyway? So far, the plot seems similar to the second one. But anyway. But that's my rant about movies, which I'll segue to...
I will say, like, I don't mean to be a Brooklyn, like, hoity-toity whatever, but, like, that's why I do, like, Alamo. Like, there's been a time where one time I was coming back from the bathroom, and I looked at my phone for a second. The guy was like, "You can't be looking at your phone." I was like, oh.
Yeah, I love that. Bring that back.
Yeah. So speaking of the movies, I think, actually, this is a great segue because we're in the month of January. Going into February. This is traditionally, although in the age of streaming and what the industry is now, this is traditionally something called dump month.
I love the way you say it because I just picture somebody taking a dump every time.
Well, I also, like, as a person that has a big dump, I'm like, well, every month is my, is dump month for me. I don't mean like taking a shit. I meant my ass is huge. Anyway, this is an audio medium anyway, but I'm sure right now you're like, let me go look her up
Google
right now.
Yeah. What's your Instagram handle? Your follower account goes.
I gotta start doing some thirst traps now before the release of this.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put some out, y'all, so you get a good depiction of me. But I thought what would be fun is if we kind of look back on some films that were considered during Dump Month. Dump Month, if you don't know, is pretty much what it sounds like. It's a film that the studios have to release, but they're not doing it during like a high traffic time of the year. They're not like doing a summer release. They're not doing one like November leading up to the holidays. They're literally dumping these films, fulfilling their contractual obligations and kind of like giving them little to no PR, and then just hoping they can like recoup what they spent on it. And a classic example of that is one of my favorite films of all time that was huge for me as a child, which when you find out what it is, you'll be like, what? Why were you watching this as a child? That film, though, is Dirty Dancing.
I've had the time of my life. We're going to do the lift right now.
Yes, we're doing it. You
nailed it.
You can't.
Nailed it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I really put you over my head.
No, yeah.
It would be you over my head, though.
I'm glad I wore that dress.
You brought the dress. Thank you.
I have great legs.
And I am in very high-waisted pants that Patrick Swayze wears. His pants are so high in this film sometimes. I'm just
Patrick.
like, wow. Ryan, what is your familiarity with Dirty Dancing? Like, before I brought this up, had you seen it?
Yes. Dirty Dancing is one of those movies that I feel like I don't know life without Dirty Dancing. Like, it's always just existed. However, it had been a very long time since I'd seen it. And I was trying to think, I don't remember the first time I did see it. I felt like, I don't know, I feel like it's a lot of people's, like your parents or your mom or your dad, like favorite movie that they were watching and you kind of were like, what's this? And like, I feel like that's how I saw it, was like pieces of it. And then I couldn't remember though, when is the first time I sat down and watched all of it, but I just know it.
Yeah.
So I did watch it recently. And I have to say, I just love this movie. It is, I was like, wow, this was so, I think I texted my mom after and I was like, I watched Dirty Dancing and I hadn't seen it in a long time and I just love it. And of course she's like, it's so good. But I just think it's such a good movie. Like,
it's so good.
It's just feel good. There's so many things about it as an adult that I was like, oh, I never really like connected into this part before. Like when you're a kid, it's the, maybe there's a little bit of sexual awakening with what they're doing, but you're not, and there's the music that has a great soundtrack. I mean, so many good songs. But yeah, my initial thing is I've always known about it and I know I've always loved it, but rewatching it again now, I was like, I really love this movie. I'm
with you. You touched on so many things that, I mean, I feel like you're reading my mind, It is so good. The soundtrack is amazing. Now, does it sometimes not lend itself to being in 1963? Yes.
Absolutely.
You are kind of like, this song is very 80s that's playing. But, suspension of disbelief, you know. And also, like, sometimes the fashion choices and the hair in here are very 80s.
I was thinking that as well. There were a couple of things that I was like, well, I mean, the movie, and maybe we'll bring this up, but, like, the movie is like representing like the shift in like what's going on. So I was like, it kind of makes sense, but I was like, it's a big like 60s to 80s. Like that obviously wasn't real happening, but.
Right. I think it just was what we are able to do with filmmaking now is so revolutionary that like it feels very dated to be 80s, like, and I remember growing up just thinking it was taking place during the time when it was shot. Like I was like, this is an 80s film. It wasn't until when I grew up and became more cognizant that I was like, oh, this is supposed to be the summer of 1963. Just to give you like a little bit of a background on this film, if you haven't watched it, I'm not sure where you've been. And I'm glad you're here. I don't know why I'm insulting you right away, but
turn this off.
Sometimes the listeners like a little abuse. Anyway, okay. So Dirty Dancing, it premiered at the Cannes Film Festival.
I know. I didn't know that.
Which I didn't know either, in May 1987, but it was released in the United States August 21st, 1987. So the plot is, it tells the story of Frances, Baby Houseman, as she goes on vacation with her family before she goes to Mount Holyoke, to the Borscht Belt area in the Catskills in the summer of 1963. Where she meets and she falls in love with Johnny Castle, who is a dance instructor from the wrong side of the tracks.
The best side of the tracks.
Right, exactly. Like the side of the tracks where you're a classically trained dancer.
And a clean cut, like perfect skin. I was like, I feel like whatever side of the tracks it is, I'd like to know what skincare they're doing over there.
Just so, everyone in this film we'll get into it. These people were my fashion icons, like, and what I aspired to be like. So I just want to touch on this real quick because there are so many things that happen in this film that, as you said, like I was unaware of, right? Like, and also I didn't question. It's so funny how kids are just like, oh, okay, this is happening, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think it was necessarily injurious. Now, would I have the 6-year-olds that I take care of watch this at this moment? Maybe not.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe clips here and there.
Yeah, the dance scenes. Some of them dance scenes.
I would probably wait till they're about like 13 or 14. I think that's a good time for them to start like maybe relating to like what's happening a little more. But still, even though this stuff washed over me, but this film, like, this is a socio-political banger. Like, this is a revolutionary film. I mean, when it comes to, we're touching on things like abortion, let's just say it.
Which I thought was presented really well. Like, in such I felt like a female positive. Like, there's no, there's a little bit of shame, but it's presented as like, that's bad to shame. Like, she shouldn't be punished for that.
Yeah.
Like, I just thought it was presented in a very like, for being 1987, I was like, wow, this is done so like well.
This is in 1963. I believe this is 10 years before Roe v. Wade made its way to the courts and was signed into law. And obviously the filmmaker wants to say something about that. It's very important to them. And I'm so glad they did. And also, like, this is the catalyst for Johnny and Baby being able to have the relationship that they have. There is the problem, the inciting incident, is that Johnny does not have a partner for this big, show that he has to do. And that's where Baby and he have to get together, But yeah, we touch on abortion and we talk about feminism, as you mentioned, like it being very female focused, class mixed with like religious identity, sex. There's like depictions of like Lisa being essentially sexually assaulted on the golf course by Robbie. And I'll say also, this film, when you don't know it, like you say, this is like so etched into my DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is as etched into my DNA as like Billy Joel is, or like, you know, just like Muppets Christmas Carol, like how it felt like God above has delivered this because it was here for us. You just feel
like when you watch something like that, it's like I'm forever changed.
Yeah.
It's like just does something to you. Like,
well, and for me, I didn't realize at the time because it's weird to like, I'm wondering if I think the last time I saw it was probably high school, but it feels like it had been sooner than that just because I had seen it so many times. But I've realized I've watched this film at like every, you know, era of my life. Yeah. And that's why I do think this film has provided a sexual awakening for me in many, many different ways. And I know that might be uncomfortable for some people to hear, but like, I think that that's just kind of how development works, you know? Anyway, I will get into those things and the things that I was just, my eyes were wide open and I was having so many epiphanies while rewatching this film. And I was like, oh my God, let me just, I won't bury the lead. Like, I was like, how did I not know how gay I was? Like, I was just like, how did I not know, like, sooner? Like, it's just was pretty obvious.
I thought about that too, because that scene where she goes up to where all the workers and they're, you know, the dancing they're doing, and she walks in and you can tell she's never seen anything like that. And it's obviously, like, I watch it now, I was like, okay, this is like sexual awakening for her.
Yeah.
And I was like, when I watched it when I was little, like, what did I think? And it must have been something. And then of course I watch it now and like, you really know what it does for you as an adult. But I really I don't know, something about the way it was done. I was like, there's nothing really spoken, but I understand everything that's going through her mind.
Yeah.
And what she's probably feeling and thinking. Like, I was trying to find the equivalent of, like, I remember being a freshman in high school and going to the first high school dance, and they danced completely different than a middle school dance. And I was not by no means like with popular kids or going out parties. So to me, I was like, I'd never seen people dance this way.
Right.
And I was like, I just felt like, I was like, I know exactly what she's doing walking amongst all these people around. Like, did everybody get like a guidebook that I didn't get? Like, what's happening? Like, people do this?
I mean, and because she has been sheltered.
Yeah.
You know, but maybe these like blue collar kids have not been. They've been exposed to this sooner, so this has been ramped up by hook or by crook, you know. No, I totally, and I think that's why Jennifer Grey, maybe we'll get into the cast here, that's why she's so effective.
I think she's so great.
The cast here, as we have talked about, oh my God. So, okay. Jennifer Grey as Baby, Patrick Swayze as Johnny Castle, Jerry Orbach.
Oh, I love Jerry Orbach.
AKA Lumiere.
Yes, I wanted him to sing Be Our Guest at the time.
Yes, I was like, as Jake Houseman, Cynthia Rhodes as Penny, probably the person who made me realize I was bisexual. Okay.
She's very hot.
Jack Weston as Max Kellerman. Jane Brucker as Lisa Houseman. Kelly Bishop, the legend, if you know her from Gilmore Girls. Many people know her.
The original Broadway cast of A Chorus Line, if you're super gay.
Which apparently that line at the end when she says, I think she gets it from me, when Baby is dancing up there with Johnny, they added it as like an ode to, because she was the original, what
Sheila.
role was she in?
Sheila.
She was Sheila in A Chorus Line. Yeah. But then there's Neil Price as Neil Kellerman. Excuse me, Lonnie Price as Neil Kellerman, which, by the way, why hasn't this man played Ethan Slater's father yet?
All I think of when I watch him is, you know, Muppets Take Manhattan.
I was going to say.
I love Muppets Take Manhattan.
And he was the original, what is it? I believe Charlie in Merrily We Roll Along.
Yes.
Max Cantor as Robbie Gold. Max Cantor sadly passed away in 91 from a heroin overdose.
I just learned that today.
Yeah. Okay, and then, we see Wayne Knight come up there.
Yes, I was like, Seinfeld, like, Newman.
Well, and actually, Wayne Knight, his inclusion in this, I feel like is like really important. Just to like go back to like some of these facts, like this happens in the Borscht Belt area, which was this actual area of the Catskill Mountains where Jewish families would vacation during summers. This is also the thing. This film is very like low key Jewish. Like we're not like seeing them like, talking about observing the Sabbath or whatever, but like these are Jewish families that are having Jewish community, and there's actual, Kelly Bishop is unfortunately not a Jewish actor, but like, we're watching a lot of Jewish actors, which is honestly a really big deal.
Yeah.
So this is very popular to go to the Borscht Belt for these families between the 1920s until, they discuss the decline of it starting in the late 1950s going into the 60s when the film takes place. So the decline was due to like Jewish families started accumulating wealth, and also, they wanted to travel more and see worldly destinations, and they were able to do this because there was like a drop in anti-Semitism. Like you have to remember, we're less than 20 years out from the end of World War II.
Yeah, it's insane to think that.
So, and borscht, if you don't know, it's like a Slavic like stew that like is very emblematic of like what Slavic Jews would eat. So
I love those. I wish those resorts still existed. When I watch them, I was like, I would totally love to go to one.
There is a place called Woodloch Pines in Pennsylvania. I think it's like technically in the Poconos, and we've gone there before, my family, and it's like summer camp, like for your family. We went for, I forget whose birthday it was, but we went like my whole family with the kids and everything like several years ago, and it gives Kellerman vibes 1000%.
I want to go.
It still exists. So here's a plug for Woodloch Pines. Maybe they want to sponsor us.
Use code GROWNESS Kids Club for 10% off.
Yes. But in this area, like we see Wayne Knight doing stand-up, right? And like Borscht Belt comedy that came out of this defined comedy, Jewish comedy specifically. Like, and you'll see it, like he makes the joke in it where he's like, I found the perfect girl. Oh, she dresses like my mother. She talks like my mother. I brought her home. My father doesn't like her. Well, these very like domestic type of like relatable jokes. They're very punny. Yes. And like in the Catskills, if it wasn't for the Borscht Belt, we would not have Rodney Dangerfield, whose real name is Jacob Cohen. I know he has blue eyes, but that man is Jewish. Yes. Carl Reiner, who's father of the late Rob Reiner. Mel Brooks. Buddy Hackett, whose real name is Leonard Hacker. Like, if it was not, and also Woody Allen, but, R.I.P. to him in my life. Anyway. Yes. But we wouldn't have this. It's because of these playgrounds where they got to, like, work on their stuff. So this is written by Eleanor Bergstein, and it's semi-autobiographical about her life when she would go with her family to a resort in the Catskills.
Was it a book? Or is there a book that she wrote? Or no, she just wrote this movie based on?
Oh, I thought she just wrote the screenplay.
No, I'm just asking you if you know if it's a book, because I don't know.
I haven't come across it, but it might be.
I was just curious. I'm like, I would read it, because I never thought about it. Like,
yeah, but I bet I saw that there is like a Borscht Belt museum in, I think it's like Ellenville or something. It's it's smack dab in the middle of the Catskills. It looks small but mighty, so good for them. This was directed by Emil Ardolino, who does have an Academy Award, but it was for a documentary about dancing, though. Yes. And who is an openly gay man, by the way, and who passed because of HIV, unfortunately. This was choreographed by the one and only a Goldie from this podcast, Kenny Ortega.
Hocus Pocus.
I know.
Right?
Yep.
Isn't he Hocus Pocus?
And also the High School Musical.
And amongst other things,
and
too.
Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar, I believe he directed that as well. So I just want to mention that right now. Also, weird true crime tie-in to this film.
Ooh.
Jennifer Stahl, who she's just one of the dancers, and I don't want to say just, but she doesn't have any lines in it. If you see at the end when Johnny's doing the dance and the rest of the resort kids are hooting and hollering, there's a woman in blue who's really hooting and hollering.
Okay.
She, unfortunately, was murdered in something called the Carnegie Deli Massacre in 2001.
Carnegie Deli?
Yes. And they follow it. They tell the story about it in Homicide, New York, which is on Netflix. So if you want to go check that out.
2001? I don't remember.
She died in 2001. She lived above the Carnegie Deli, and her friends were murdered.
Must have gotten like when was it before 9/11 out? Like I wonder if it just got totally before, like
right,
you know.
Right. So I think we've laid down all the important things. As we mention, you know, like baby comes to this area. She is like, she's talking about going to the Peace Corps. She's speaking to her mother about like, it was funny. I think this is a great way to show generational divide is the mother goes, look at all this food. They're still starving children in Europe? And she goes, no, Mom, they're in I think she said Southeast Asia now.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, here's the next place where we need to be like altruistic, you know?
Yeah.
Baby wants to change the world, you know? And I related to Baby. I don't know if you relate to Baby at all.
I relate to her and not in that way, but in just the naivete, like
right.
of that age and just feeling there were certain things, mainly how she felt amongst the other dancers, like people at the club, like just how they all kind of looked at her and were like, go back to your playpen. You know, like I was like, I felt some of that in the feeling of like, why do I feel so much younger when I'm like the same, like I'm in this peer group, but like, why do I seem like I'm younger or I'm being treated younger? Like I related to parts for that. Not so much the Peace Corps thing. Never wanted to go to the Peace Corps, but
I did want to go to the Peace Corps at one point when college was ending. I think I'm glad I didn't do it. Not because I don't think the Peace Corps is a worthy thing. I think I would have been a real fish out of water in that situation. I don't think I would have lasted very long, and they would have been unhappy to have me. But I think Baby's such an interesting character because, like, she is kind of shy, but she also, like, she's very curious, you know? She's not afraid to go and, like, dig around, you know, and, like, we see, like, a really nice coming together of, like, that dichotomy.
I love the opening of her because she's narrating and she hugs her dad, Jerry Orbach, who's driving, and has the line about, she's like, will I ever find a guy like as great as my dad? And I felt like that statement just lives through the whole movie because that was one part of the movie that I never really tapped into as a child. But I was like, oh, this is also really a movie about like a father-daughter relationship that is super strong.
Yes.
And really wonderful. Like there were moments that I just was like, Jerry Orbach is such a good dad. He does so many, like, no questions asked. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, he does it kind of twice. Of course, one is, you know, he is upset about, but, like, the asking for money.
Mm-hmm. He trusts her.
Like, he's like, oh, sure, I'll give you. I mean, I looked it up. That's like, she asked for $200. That'd be $2,000.
It was a lot of money then.
And he's just like, what do you want it for? And she's like, I can't tell you, but just trust me. And he's like, okay. I don't think that my parents would have done that. I wasn't as well off as the Housemans, I will say. I guess that's true if you have the money to blow or burn.
You know, his character is so fascinating too because, like, in a more poorly written script, he could be like just real, like, stock character, like hard ass, like these weird ass fucking dads that we see in life who's like, my daughter is, you know, her virginity. So, and it's like he cares for his daughter, but it's also, you can tell this man has been through so much and he does want to elevate other people, you know, because he probably knows what it feels like to not be put in that position. And so I think he wants to send the elevator down. And, you know, like we say,
I'm like, I never heard that. I like that. What's that? I like that phrase. Send the elevator down.
I think I heard Sarah Silverman say it first. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. They definitely do that.
I heard that years ago. Yeah, I'm almost positive I heard her say it. And it's been like a thing that I'm like, what are the ways in which I can send the elevator back down?
Meaning
you get off at the top floor and you realize like, oh, somebody else needs this elevator. So you push the button to go back down so someone else can have a chance to. Yeah, and their relationship, again, it's just a testament to the amazing acting. I'll tell you, I cried several times during this film. And my father has passed away. Jerry Orbach has passed away. And it was making me miss my dad, too. Like, who wasn't, like, we had a nice life, you know, but, like, we weren't well off necessarily.
Yeah.
But if someone was in trouble, like, my mother or my father would certainly, you know, help us out. But my father would be happy to help someone get an abortion, like 1,000%. Like he would have no thoughts about it whatsoever.
I mean, that scene was so that, you know, I guess, you know, being a doctor, like you take that oath of like, it doesn't matter, you help. Like you're not going to be like, well, how did she get in this? How, you know, like no questions asked. You're going to help first and then ask questions after.
Well,
so
you bring up such a great thing is like when he goes to care for Penny. So I know we've kind of like talked around this is that, you know, Johnny has a friend, Penny, who's his dance partner, and she is pregnant. And many people think it's Johnny. Well, Baby thinks it's Johnny that, you know, got her in trouble, quote unquote, is how they say it in this. Which I think is not what the screenwriter wanted to say, but I'm sure they made the studio.
Don't they say the same thing in Grease too? Like,
right,
she's in trouble or something like that.
I'm a defective typewriter. Yeah, I skipped a period. Yeah, like it's that's like in I Love Lucy. They could never talk about. I think they said, "Oh, she's expecting." They can't say she's pregnant, even though she's like 8.5 months pregnant on that show, about to pop. Yeah, is that, you know, he is close with Penny. That also makes him more attractive is like they dated when they were kids. Now they just have this like really lovely friendship. There's these two hot people that have this like really great friendship, you know. And, you know, we learn that she is pregnant by Robbie. I thought the depiction growing up on Long Island and around the New York City area, I just want to say that the waiters who had these summer jobs before they go off to these like Ivy League or like higher education places, like I cannot tell you that is very much still a thing, 1,000%. It is like their first job ever, you know, and they're just like kind of filling a spot. So it was so interesting to see there's like 3 layers of class in this film. Yeah. There's like these have-nots who are like, up in this, they're in the Footloose barn dancing, you know, like, and then there are this higher level where they're like, oh, you're going to get to the point where these men whose wives cheat on them with dance instructors later on, you know, like, but here you are, like, you need to have a summer job to like make daddy happy before he gives you everything in the world, you know?
Yeah.
I know those guys, like I was somewhere lower than them, like not quite the wrong side of the tracks, but like, you know, waitressing at the Ground Round in the Cheesecake Factory and like, you know, but going to a state school.
Going to a state school. Yes. Yeah, I love the class. I thought the class, like, there's so many things in the movie that are so subtle, but so clear.
Yeah.
Like they are so, like I realized, I think it's just so well written and done because the story really moves and it doesn't waste a lot. Like, the plot really happens and you don't need a lot of like spoon-fed lines and exposition and dialogue. You just like understand.
The exposition that we do get is so organic. Like when, oh my God, I forget the character who's like the friend. He's like the bag boy who, I forgot to say, I'm wearing my shirt that says I carried a watermelon, which is how Baby gets up because, oh my God, what's his name? Oh, Billy needs help carrying the watermelon. That's how she gets up there. You know, like how they explain everything, like the relationship between, you know, like Johnny and Penny, like later on when that Vivian Pressman, who's the wife who cheats on her husband, is sees Baby like you know, she decides to sleep with like Robbie and then she's like leaving and like sees Baby leaving with Johnny. I was like, oh, there's no fat to be trimmed in this film. I think it was there's no time wasted. It's so beautiful.
There's a lot of visual storytelling. Like some of the best moments like don't have dialogue.
Yeah.
They're just visual that you're like, oh, like you get the whole thing of what's happening.
When she goes in and sees also the dancing that's happening, this is the first time we're seeing black and brown people as well.
Yeah.
Because we've only seen white people up until this point. And I'm also curious. It's like we see a few of them, and I'm wondering if the studio, because Eleanor Bergstein had said before, like, the only reason I was able to learn the dance I did was from black and brown people. Like, she said in interviews, because she was like a mambo competing like queen, apparently. You're not going to learn that from white people,
yeah,
you know?
That's interesting.
But I was appreciative of that I was like, I think it's really telling that, you know, that's the first time we're seeing, you know, black and brown people is in this moment. And for them to be together in 1963 is also revolutionary. I don't think enough is said about that. Maybe they just don't have time to, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely like touch on that eventually. And just to go back to your point that you also had, like the way that Jerry Orbach, when he finds out later on that Penny has had a botched abortion, and the way he treats her with such dignity. Yeah. And that's when we say, I'm sorry to get on my pedestal. I think this movie radicalized me like at an early age. This is when we talk about that abortion is healthcare. Mm-hmm, this woman was receiving healthcare, and that man provided healthcare. And, you know, he was upset about it, but it does not matter. You know, like that is like what you hope in life, that someone gets treated like.
Yeah, I was, one of my big things in this movie, I was like, the empathy in this film. Yeah. It just made me sad because I was like, you just don't see that now. Like everybody, even though there's the class separation, it comes down to like, they all try to take care of each other like the best way that they can. And you see break the barriers of Jerry Orbach being like, you know, sending the elevator down, realizing like, I should help you. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, but even before, like, I don't know, there's just so much empathy amongst everyone. Like back, like you see, like, this is a time when like people did actually care about other people.
Well, and that's why that community, the workers you see, like, there's games of telephone that people will play to, like, Billy runs in to go get, you know, or Baby comes over. She goes tell Billy. Billy tells Johnny. Johnny runs to go check on Penny. People are waiting outside while Penny is like getting care to make sure she's okay. You know, like people are covering for her, telling a lie. Her grandmother died, you know, like whatever. Yeah. Because like we need each other, you know? Yeah. But then also there's this community, like these Jewish people, they needed each other too when they were experiencing anti-Semitism, and when, you know, like people weren't hiring Jews, other Jews would hire. My dad and my sister always say this thing, you know, sometimes Jews don't believe in God, but Jews believe in other Jews. And I love that because it is like, you see that in this movement, these people keeping together. But I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about my love of Cynthia Rhodes, just for
the best.
A hot second.
The best.
And just to really, I'm going to show my whole ass, I think, at this point. Like,
do it.
I do not know why she did not work more after this. Like,
I was surprised that.
Yeah. She was married to Richard Marx, who's a very famous singer-songwriter for several years. They're no longer together. But I thought she was so... she was spectacular on camera. Like, I thought she was... Yeah, I thought she had star power, personally. Yeah. Of course, Jennifer Grey did. And then she got her nose job, which
I know. I was thinking about that. I was like, I felt sad too about that she felt so, you know, disappointed in her appearance to change it. But in the movie, I was like, I think she's so beautiful, charming. Like, she's just like, I was just like, I would never, you know, but I get it's that self, you know.
Well, I think I'll be able to call this out. Okay. Maybe better than a goy. But she has a very Jewish, quote unquote, Jewish looking nose, right? Okay. And I think it's disappointing that, you know, she wanted to advance in the industry. And as much as there were strides that I feel like were made in this film,
so it's more of
she's got a more Anglo looking nose. And let me tell you, she looks great.
Yeah.
But she does not look like it completely transformed her appearance.
Yeah.
You know, I think it, like, listen, like, again, I can't help but get on my soapbox here, but like, to me, it's really important when I actually see Jewish actors playing Jewish people. Like, being Jewish is not just, it's a religion, yes, but also like it's in our blood, you know, like, I don't know, I can't speak for like an Arab or like a MENA actor who's like, oh, I might be Christian or Hindu or, you know, but I'm comfortable playing a Muslim, you know, because like people that come from where I come from are Muslim. Like the thing I know the most about me in my life is like, I'm Jewish. Like that's the most thing that runs in my blood. Otherwise that we run all around Europe and it's very confusing, like in my ancestry. Mm-hmm. I get upset when I see actors that are not Jewish playing Jewish roles. Mm. Maestro.
Oh, Bradley Cooper.
And like that film was beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, it was. But also, I'd be like, he got a really Jewish looking nose in that, you know, like
right.
And that made me like very tense watching it. I was like, listen, this prosthetic is amazing. They did a great job. But also, you know, you could just hire an actor that has a Jewish nose that's Jewish, and you could direct it. Anyway.
He's like, but I want the Oscar, Andrea.
You want the Oscar, but you didn't get it now, did you?
He's like, well, wait till you see what I'm going to do next.
Anyway, nonetheless, but back to Cynthia Rhodes was like a style icon to me. And I was watching this film and realizing the fashion choices that I made as a child were because I thought, is this something Penny would wear?
Yeah, like, I could see that.
And there's a part when Johnny and Penny are dancing in the beginning when they have their first like group dance, and Max gets upset with them because they're not doing a dance that he approves of. Mm-hmm. That dress that she is wearing looks like almost, maybe I can find a picture and I'll put it on our socials. Yes. I didn't realize, and I was like, oh my God, I picked a dress to the Long Island Gay and Lesbian Youth Prom that I went to.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, as a straight ally, I went.
Okay.
Not because I'm queer.
Like, sure, Jan.
Andrea, how did you not
You're like,
know?
have all these pride things. Yes. You're like, but I'm not.
I'm just an ally, you know? I don't want to just make out with Cynthia Rhodes all the time.
Yes.
But I got that dress, and it looks like Penny's dress in it. And I also want to say, like, involving her, there's these like pretty homoerotic moments in this. One happens like when, well, there's like a poly moment in this too. One is like Baby is learning the dance.
Oh, right.
And yes. Then so they're in profile. You see Johnny is leading her, mm-hmm. and Johnny is in hold with like Baby, and then behind them. Behind Baby is Cynthia Rhodes, is Penny teaching, essentially teaching Baby how to dance. But it looks like, I was like, these three are about to have sex with each other.
Yeah, it did have that sort of like, it's gonna be a little orgy.
I remember seeing that and being like, oh, can we do that?
In the remake today, yes.
Yes. And then later on, Johnny is watching the two of them while like Penny is like teaching Baby like to like basically mirror her like with her moves.
Right.
And that I'm like, kiss.
Kiss.
Then there's another part when like Penny is helping Baby get ready in this like dressing room, and like Baby is kind of laughing because she's like, oh my God, like look at my boobs in this thing. And then Penny says, I'm scared, Baby. You know, she's scared about like the abortion. And, you know, Baby like holds her and is like, it's going to be okay. You know, you're going to be totally fine. And I also was like, kiss.
They slowly turn and look at each other.
Yes. But I was just like, this really broke down some barriers for me. I was like, oh, okay. Or like, look at these two girls dancing. Then at the end, there's these two old ladies I
thought that, I was going to bring that up too. Yes. I was like, wait, are they lesbians? Because the woman, the way she kind of was like, fuck it, and grabbed the lady. I was like, is this her kind of coming out?
They're just two good friends who vacation together.
Yeah.
Right. Roommates.
They're roommates.
Yep. They just like love to listen to
She's
Joan
like,
Baez.
I'll be munching this carpet later. Oh.
But I feel like that movie made it okay to like dance with women. Like,
yeah, there was another like ahead of its time where like even when you were watching it like in the 80s, everybody just like loved it. They didn't realize like, oh, this is what it's like to just be accepting.
Yes, exactly. Okay, well, I think I've sung the praises of this movie.
You can't sing enough. It's so good.
I didn't even talk about the soundtrack. The soundtrack is like in my life.
So many good songs.
This is the thing. When I was younger and I was like, what is sex? Sex is dancing. You know, Patrick Swayze has to be shirtless.
Yes.
And it's just gyrating in a room like to like either Otis Redding or Solomon Burke, Cry for Me. Like that's what it is. And honestly, that's ruined sex for me for the rest.
Hungry eyes. I just love, every song came on, I was like, oh, I love this song. I love this song.
I was like singing it out loud. Reed came in and made fun of me and I was like, get the fuck out of here.
I'll kill you.
Don't. And I was like, why don't you go watch football? Because he was like, oh, babies. I was like, you know what? I know about this guy who's cheating on his wife with a younger woman. Like, and he's like, I'm leaving.
Sorry.
I will say there have been other iterations that they've tried to like make Dirty Dancing happen. There was like a series later on, like Melora Hardin.
I didn't even know there was a series.
I think it was very short-lived.
I wonder if it's on YouTube.
Oh, it must be. Must. And then they tried to make some other like sequels. They're like this lives in infamy. I will say the place where they shot, I believe, is in Virginia. It wasn't in New York. Yeah. This place is like it's like a series now of like private houses. The only thing that really is left over is the stairs where Baby's practicing her dance.
I'm sure everybody wants to have their picture. It's like the steps in Sarah Jessica, like the Sex and the City apartment. Yes. Everybody wants
that poor guy
to put a chain up.
Please leave my apartment alone.
Yeah.
So then also, I know a few years ago there was like a reality show where it was a dance competition with celebrities. Like it was called like Dirty Dancing, and it was like a judge competition. I also know a friend who like went to Dirty Dancing camp, and they like learned dances.
Everybody just had sex with each other.
Yeah. Everyone dressed up.
You're gonna learn dances and then abortions.
Yes, exactly.
I remember the remake quote. I had forgotten about it till watching this, and I was like, oh yeah, and Abigail Breslin,
right,
and like Nicole Scherzinger, and
my favorite person,
Deborah Messing.
Also, oh wow,
it was stacked. It was a stacked cast. I was like, I forgot about
two
that.
People from the Turning Point conference. I just
Nicki Minaj was it? No, it was not good though. I remember like
you don't say
enjoying it, but I do think, and I know that there was a musical in the West End of this Dirty Dancing, because I think this would make an amazing Broadway musical.
You bring up such a good point. Like, this film is like, it's not a musical, right? But music and dancing
feels like one. It's structured so much that you're like, this could be a song. They could be a song.
Sing in it, you know. No. Except Lisa when she's my God.
I love that. That's one of the parts I remember from childhood is watching, like, who is that girl? And I want to be her.
I also want to say I've met that girl in my life too. Like,
I was like, you met her? Or no?
Oh no, I just meant the Lisa type.
Yes. I did love that character. I love at the end when they're dancing and she's like happy for Baby and she's like just kind of bopping to it. Because I thought I liked it that it was like she could have easily been the stock mean sister, but she really wasn't mean to Baby. She just was her sister. Like it was just it was very like, I thought a natural sister relationship. Sort of like I didn't think she was like the typical like, oh, she's gonna be mean to her or like undermine her to get her in trouble with the dad. Like none of that really occurred.
No. Well, and like she's definitely modeled after her mother and Baby is modeled after her father.
Right.
And I think that that's why like they are different in that way. You know, I do love that there's that character development that eventually Lisa sees that Robbie is a piece of shit, and sleeping with that married woman. And then, you know, she comes around and she says, oh, baby, I'll do your hair. She's like, actually, no, like, how do you want your hair done? You know? Yeah. They're also in their underwear in that. And I'm like, not like Kiss, but I'm also like, this is homoerotic. But I thought that character is great. And I've definitely like, it's just truth in writing, you know, their experiences. Like, I feel very familiar with these characters, and that's why I think I sobbed constantly. Yeah. So a great dump film. This ended up winning an Academy Award for song. What was it for? Time of My Life?
It must have been that one, right? Because I felt like everything else, was that the only like new song in the movie? Or
She's Like the Wind also.
Oh, She's Like the Wind.
It's I've Had the Time of My Life.
That's what I was thinking.
She's like the wind.
I thought that was him singing that.
I don't know why I thought.
Yeah, song by Patron. He wrote it with Wendy Frazier, and he sings it, yeah.
Just a fool to believe.
And the Lisa character actress, she wrote that song, like her.
The Hula Hana?
I think she said, did Kenny Ortega come up with the medley or something? But she was just like improvise. She was like, oh, I love to do improv. And they weren't even sure that it would be filmed. It was just supposed to be like a background thing. But it was so funny that they're like, let's make it prominent.
When she does her bow.
Yes. Yeah, she was talking about all that. She's like, all improv. Like, she's like, didn't know if it would be on screen. Like,
I gotta check it out. Oh my God.
And I guess she got the rights to it, so she gets paid now.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
She didn't initially, but then I think once she started seeing how it was so, like, just everybody loved that moment. And then I forget what she said, if it was either the stage show or something was coming out, and she talked to, maybe it was Kenny Ortega, because I guess they were going to share the rights to it.
Right.
And he's like, okay, like, I will do this with you. He's like, but I need you to do the last note for me. And she's like, I can't, I'm outside. So she had to go in her car and do the last note. And he's like, okay, I'll do it. Whatever. It was just a funny story.
I like when she's like, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. In the middle of the song, she's like, 4. She said that was because she dated a musician who was obnoxious about music. So she's like, I wanted to put that counting part in because it felt so like pretentious to be like 4, 5, 6, you know, like she's like, that's like, so I just loved all of that because I thought, oh, she's so like underrated, you know, like the talent that she's
so funny.
And I don't think she really acted in much.
She didn't I remember I'd seen an interview with her like quite some time ago where, you know, she had attempted to keep going, but the business is difficult, you know, so, but she just a scene stealer. Maybe her, and then I think at the end, her and Neil are dancing together. I'm like, oh no, maybe you and original Ethan Slater. Do you not see he
could be, yeah.
He
I didn't think
needs
about
to be
that.
Ethan Slater's father.
They do like, you know, well, he's the Tin Man. I was gonna say a Wicked later. He's the older, but he's a Tin Man now, so he can't be.
But maybe it's like origin story of
Buck.
Anyway.
It's like The Hobbit.
Buck. All right.
Well, I was gonna tell you I took a quiz that was like, which Dirty Dancing character are you? So I was gonna have you take it.
Oh my God, please.
And
I'd love to.
I'm just not even going to say anything about it. I'll just do it with you, and then I can tell you who I got at the end.
Okay.
So this quiz is from playbuzz.com. Okay. It's not a porn site. What do you find particularly amusing? Something Ivy League related. Definitely not when someone screws up. Typical things. Something crass. Demeaning others. Medical banter. Or calling people names. Which of those do you find amusing? It's a lot of choices.
What was the third one?
Typical things.
I guess I'll go with
something crass, demeaning others, medical banter.
I guess maybe I'll go with something crass.
Something crass?
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Describe your ideal partner in one word. Easy, smart, successful, loving, loyal, selfless, or honest?
Honest.
Honest, okay. It's only a 7-question quiz, so I'm like 2 hours later. I'm like, what is your social? What constitutes an embarrassing moment? Walking in on something you shouldn't have, confronting authority figures, someone picking someone else over me, stating the obvious, being caught in a lie, accepting a large sum of money, or being wrong.
Being caught in a lie.
Being caught in a lie? Okay. Okay. What do you like to do for fun? Reading? Help people, dancing, look for girls, look for boys, What do you think?
What about both?
Do something with the opposite sex.
I'll say dancing.
Dancing? Okay. All right. What are you afraid of? Change, pain, rejection, nothing, the truth, lies, everything.
I'll say rejection.
Okay. I can't wait to see who you get. How would you confess your love? Getting emotional in some annoying manner, in your face, you don't. Avoiding it, monologuing, or in a traditional manner.
Getting emotional.
Okay, I always thought that would be your answer. Okay, this is the final question. What's your ideal time of your life? Living?
April, what is it, 14th?
You don't need it. All you need is a light jacket.
Is it 24th?
It's
April
something.
14th?
I think it might be April 20. I don't know.
Sorry.
Your ideal time of your life. Living, getting out of Dodge, having fun, moving on, making others happy, finding your someone, or just dealing with it.
Having fun.
Okay, drum roll. You got calculating. The page crash. Calculating results. You got baby.
Yes! I am baby, and no one
Francis,
puts me in the corner.
There's no description, unfortunately. It just tells you, like, who you got.
I am baby.
Now, I took the quiz, and I
Who'd
thought
you
I
get?
gave very, answers. Guess who I got?
Did you get Lisa?
No.
Did you get Robbie?
Yes.
What?
I was like, why am I Robbie?
The Yale one, the Ivy League one was like...
Yeah, I felt like some of them called out,
I was about to say a terrible joke. Did you get like heroin? I'm so sorry. Please
heroin until you can't stop. Well, that's how I figured out he died, because I was like, wait, who played him? And then when I saw it, I was like, okay, from an acting perspective, I would audition and maybe I would play that part. Like, who knows? I can play straight acting
I feel like
sometimes
this is
really
unfair
well.
because anyone that tries heroin likes it. So it's not just like, do I like this?
Yeah, but I was like, why am I Robbie? Like, the answers I picked, I was like, they do not line up with, like,
You're a
from
penny,
what I know.
1,000%.
Yeah. I want to do
Someone
Jerry
else got you in
Orbach.
trouble. Yeah. Or maybe you are Jerry Orbach.
I want to do Wayne Knight.
I know. I'd rather be him too.
I wanted to be like a dog that someone had that they brought with them. But I was like, why am I Robbie? I was so shocked. I was like, wait, what?
You're like, I attempt to rape a woman and then
I didn't
sleep with a married
that
woman?
as
Women,
Yeah.
all these things.
I disrespect women. I didn't even put look for girls on that choice. I don't even remember what I put, but it wasn't either.
Do you want to be Johnny Castle?
I mean, I want to be with Johnny Castle. I don't want to be him, though.
Oh, I just want to R.I.P. Patrick Swayze.
I know. It made me
I just
sad,
wanna
too.
kiss his sweet
Everything.
little face. Oh, God, he's so hot.
He's
so
just,
hot.
you know why? Because the things I loved about the character, he's gentle, but he's got the masculinity, but he's very supportive too. Like when they're driving back and he's like, you did a great job. And she's like, I didn't do the thing. And he's like, but you do really good. Like, he's just like nice. Again, with the empathy.
Well, and also like, sorry, I feel like we're going around in circles and I was like trying to end it, but I do want to say that like we see Robbie essentially sexually assault Lisa, but then we see later on a conversation about consent happening between Baby and Johnny when she's basically like, I want to be with you. And he's basically like, are you sure? Like, are you sure that you want that? And then we hear Johnny talk about that he's been taken advantage of by these people. And that it's like, you wouldn't think that because he's like this like big, tough looking guy, right?
Yeah, men can be sexually abused too.
Listen, I was titillated by this, and then I was like, I need to go make out with my boyfriend right now.
We're going to take a quick break.
I know.
We're all
and then
going to
he
go.
was like farting, and I was like, I guess you're my Johnny Castle. All right.
Johnny Castle.
Well, everyone.
This was a very special episode. I'm glad we talked about it.
And I want to hear your thoughts about Dirty Dancing. Maybe take the quiz and let us know who you got as well.
Yeah,
I'm very interested.
I don't think it's correct. Well, for you it was, but for me, it's not correct. I am not Robbie unless there's something I'm not I'm suppressing that I'm like need to have some kind of like.
I think that this was a hate crime. They knew you were gay and they wanted to be mean to you.
Yeah, this website is prejudice. I'm not sharing it.
I mean, not to say that. Do you have Fountainhead just available to give to a woman at any given moment?
Who is that? Not normal to do that?
My ideal woman, Iron Rand.
Iron Rand.
Well, thank you for listening to the inaugural, right?
Yes.
First episode of Grown Ass Kids Club. We cannot wait to see where we go from here. We know it will be in the elevator going up, let me tell you.
And we'll send it back down. Don't forget to leave a review and rating on your favorite platform, or just write us at grownaskidspodcast@gmail.com. And then also you can follow us on Instagram at grownaskkidsclub. We want to hear from you. We want to build a community. So please get at us, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.